Hi guys, Nick here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Jurassic World, the fourth movie in the Jurassic Park franchise, and is the his movie in the Jurassic World trilogy, and the movie takes place back on Isla Nublar after a few years, and there's a new theme park on Nublar called Jurassic World. Houlihan and engine has been under new management by a new character called Harold Simon Mizwani, and he took on the duties of John Hammond after his passing and made a fully functional theme park. Again, and now so the movie starts with has two dinosaur eggs being hatched, and we see an eyeball peeking out of the egg, and went out to right, and the baby dinosaur ward, and we got to a bird flying away, and we seen some new characters this first time around. No original characters, but besides Dr. Wu in this movie, and he start with both characters called Zach and Greg, and the friends are sending them to Newport to spend time with his other new character called Claire Deering, which she is the aunt, and she works at Jurassic World, and the friends drop them off at the airport and see them off, and Craig has Zach how many pounds has the Iron has, and Zach told him it doesn't make any sense after they landed in Costa Rica, had to take a Jurassic World ferry to Newport, and they met up with his player's assistant named Zara, and she told them to his monorail, which led right to Jurassic World, held a hand, and then they went to the hotel to wait for a bit until they could meet up with Claire, and see a right shot of Main Street, then the new visitor center of Jurassic World, and we see Claire, and she's getting ready to do her job, and talking about the new dinosaur they made, which is with some investor wants to sponsor the dinosaur, and she told him it was it's called Dominus Rex, which is the first fully engineered hybrid to be featured in the theme park, and one of the people that wants to sponsor the dinosaur asked her how they got two different dinosaurs to mix together to make the Dominus, and Wu came in to tell them, and she was designed and fully grown, and it was going to be bigger than the T-Rex, which also the original T-Rex from the very first Jurassic Park movie is coming back in this movie, and Claire told him every time they reveal a new dinosaur, his price has risen, and nobody has been impressed of a dinosaur anymore. That's why they are making the Indominus Rex to get the wow factor back up, and he went to the visitor center to meet up with her nephews and talk to them, and she said and Zara, her assistant, is going to be looking after them until she's done and her job for the day, and and she's going to take them to his consultant health center to see behind the scenes, and she went back to do her work, and they went to the control center, and I said, what is the life count so far, and you see two other characters, husband and that guy named Larry told her so far how the life count is happening, and he was wearing a Jurassic Park t-shirt that he said he found on eBay for a few dollars, and he has some toy dinosaurs on his workspace. And he's impressed by what they did in the original Jurassic Park without any hybrids, and he thinks the name of the new hybrid is a terrible name, and then Ray went to meet up with her boss, Mr. Mazwani, and he was flying a helicopter and still trying to one so he can get his pilot's license, and they went to see the new dinosaurs, the Indominus Rex, and they went to the pilot, and they're still working on the pilot, and Claire told Mazwani that the dinosaur was bigger than expected, and he told her it was a good thing, and they went in and took word of the hybrid, and you see so far seeing little bits of it, and it's alright, and this is one of the dinosaurs that was shown at the beginning of the movie here, and Claire told Edmund's Ronnie that there was a sibling just in case his Indominus Rex didn't survive, and he asked her what happened to the sibling, and Claire told him that the Indominus ate its sibling, and the Indominus was looking at them through the bushes and trees, and he continued to walk around its paddock, and Ms. Ryan told Claire that we need somebody to inspect the paddock, a guy named Owen Grady, which is the same person who plays Peter Quill from the MCU movies, who is playing Owen Grady in these new Jurassic World movies, and he's working with a new raptor pack, and the new raptors have names, and they're called Blue, Charlie, Tota, and Echo, and he's working with them to see how they behave and think, and they just find out that raptors can take orders and follow human commands, and you see his friend Barry, and the other new guy called Rick Hoskins, who wants the raptors to be in a field test, and Owen doesn't want him to do that because the raptors are still wild animals, and they might kill people. Helping because they're dinosaurs, and you see Zack and Ray taking on that at a dinosaur petting zoo, and you see some baby dinosaurs there, and when Zara wasn't paying attention while talking to somebody on her phone, and Zack and Ray told her Amaturi to sneak away from her and have something more fun, and they walked around Main Street for a little bit until Craig heard about the T-Rex feeding in the T-Rex paddock, and this is the original T-Rex we're going to see, and they brought out the goat to and set off a flare to bring out the T-Rex, and the T-Rex did the same thing as he did in the original movie, ate the goat, and Zack and Craig's mom called Zack to see how they are doing, and Zack told her that Craig gave them some and free passes to just get lines into down to wides, and Zack and Craig's mom and was a little bit upset and had told Claire who was on her way to see Owen, and she told her that it was supposed to be a family weekend, and Claire told her that after she's done work for the day and spend her entire day the next day to hang out with them, and both of them hung up, and Claire finally went to see Owen. He was at his cabin by the lake, and he asked her what they want now, and she told him that they need him to inspect that paddock and made a new dinosaur, and Owen was being sarcastic and a little silly about the new dinosaur and tried to flirt with her, and they argued for a bit about the date they were on, and they finally went to the paddock, and Zack and Craig, meanwhile, Zack and Craig were at the Jurassic World Lagoon in the spectator stands with other people, and watching the Mosasaurus eat a dead shark, and he came out and ate it and did a big splash, and they went into underground to see the Mosasaurus, and then they were going to the next attraction in Jurassic World, and meanwhile, both Claire and Owen got to Fandoma's Rex paddock, and she explained to him like she did with the sponsors of the dinosaur, and Owen kind of loved the name of the dinosaur, and they went in and noticed that dinosaur wasn't there after giving the giant meat to it, and Owen asked before that, and Owen asked what that hybrid is made of, and Claire told her that the Indominus is his base genome is a T-Rex, and everything else was classified, and Owen thinks having the Indominus is a bad idea, and it's going to fail, and the dinosaur in captivity is not always functional, and Claire brought the same thing about how the velociraptors that Owen trains, and he told her that the siblings and learn some social skills, and the only relationship that the Domus has is with food, which is food, and as is not there, and Claire used screens to see where the Domus was, and it came out of nothing, and Owen noticed some claw marks on the wall, and Claire's going to the control center to track Randomus' his tracking system, and Owen and two other watchers went inside the paddock to sit and take a closer look at the claw marks, and they brought up the tracking system of the Randomus, and it's still in its paddock 11, and they tell how Owen, the two other watchers who is inside the paddock to get out of there because it's in there with them, and Owen and the two other workers were about to run back inside until the other watcher noticed, and the Thomas was in the direction and went to the outside exit and opened the door to get out and the other water that Owen was running with got eaten by the Indomers and Owen got out just in time before the Indomers Rex escaped and flew over a car and ate the construction worker guy. He was hanging in front of a car and the Indomers Rex walked away after Owen successfully hid his son from it and they sent out the ACU to track down the Indomers Rex and recapture it before they can do more damage and meanwhile with Craig and Zad on the monorail and Craig has if the parents are going to have a divorce and Zad we showed him that we're not going to do that and he's going to be done in a couple of years and that made Craig more upset and he doesn't want two of everything and Zach reassured him it's not always up to him and there's a point that he needs to go up and Zach noticed some vehicles was in a distance and they were still tracking down the Dominus and Owen went to the control center all mad and told him it couldn't just disappear and Claire thinks it's just a malfunction and Owen told them that it had caused was the destruction and they were pretty close to the tracking system implanted within the Dominus and they found the tracking system. It had been wiped out by the Dominus. As an Owen told them that the Dominus Rex remembered where they put in the tracking system. And some blood running on the ACU commander his wrist and they found the Dominus in which was closer than they thought. It was traumatizing and the ACU found that out in the hallway and trying to tase the dinosaur and it wasn't working and some of them got killed by the Indominus and the rest retreated and headed back to the park and Owen told them we need to evacuate the island and Fred doesn't want to do it because they will never reopen and Owen told them that Indominus is trying to find its place on that and is trying to learn where to fit in the food chain, in the dinosaur food chain, and he tells him we don't need to let her know that, and Claire had got Owen to leave Cultural Center, and he got mad and told Miss Warning that he needs to talk to the people in the lab. And he said that Dominus is not a real dinosaur, and Claire had got people in the control room to shut down everything on the north side of the island, and Craig and Zach were at Jurassic and went on to one, and right after, and just before the guy got a call to shut down the Jurassic ride and told everybody to head back to Main Street and Claire took out the screens and called her assistant to bring Zach and Craig back to the hotel room and she told her that she can't find the boys and Thomas is still out there and she needs help from Owen to find Zach and Craig, and they, and she told Zach, and we then had a good signal within the gyrosphere, and they broke out the signal, and Zach noticed her fence was open and told Craig if he can stay out there for a few more minutes, and told him we're going off-road, and went through the broken up fence, and went into the restricted area, and Craig went to Owen to get his help, and both of them went to search for both Zach and Craig, and Greg got a little bit paranoid about how being in a restricted area, and they went out to the ankylosaurs, and Greg told Zach that there are 5 dinosaurs because of the dominance, and it fought one of the ankylosaurs, and the ankylosaur damaged the gyrosphere that Zach and Craig were in, and the dominance his rocks and killed the ankylosaur, and noticed that Zach was having a call from Claire, and the dominance rocks destroyed the gyrosphere, then started to chase both of them to the waterfall and jumped off into the water below, and the dominance rocks gave up and walked away, and meanwhile with Claire and Owen, they found a brachiosaur laying on the ground dead from the attack of the dominus, and saw more and were dead, and Hoskins got his engine team to come to Newbar and be the backup plan just in case everything else fails, and Barry told Norris and told Owen, and didn't get a good connection, and because they're on 2 different sides of the island, and Owen and Claire got to the damaged gyrosphere, and Norris they escaped and jumped off, and Claire wants to still look for them, and Owen doesn't think that was a good idea because she's in high heels. And Claire was determined to find her nephews. And meanwhile, both Zach and Craig go to the original visitors center of Jurassic Park, and it was overgrown and by trees and vines, and they went right in and seeing what it looked like on the inside. Right then, and they went to a little garage where 2 of the Jeeps were, and got one of them to work, and Zach reassured Craig that the dominance is not near where they are, and got the Jeep to work, and they drove off back to Jurassic World, and Claire and Owen heard one of the original Jurassic Park Jeeps to work, and they went to the visitor center, and they're on the right trail, and the dominant rocks caught up and started to attack Claire and Owen, and chased them right out of the visitor center, and now is being chased by Mr. Mizwani and 2 of the ACU guys. It's all the way to the aviary area, and that's where pteranodons and the morphodons are, and they got out and made Mizwani crash into her birdcage, and the helicopter exploded with Mizwani in it, and the pteranodons chased Owen and Claire, and also Zach and Craig, who just got back to Jurassic World, and the pterodons and dimorphodons start to attack people on Main Street, and Claire and Owen just got back to the Main Street, and got help from Zia, and Mizawa, who told Claire that they spied the boys on the mall, and went to meet up with them, and started to run away from the pterodons, who picked up Zara and dropped right into the Jurassic World Lagoon, and one started to pick her up, and right up into the Mosasaurus, as it came out of the water and ate both Zara and the pterodon who got her, and they met with Owen and Claire, and they asked who Owen was, and Claire told her that they worked together, and they were just about to leave Main Street, and told Larry, who told them about Hoskins using Owen's raptors to track down the Indominus rats, and Owen was pretty angry about it, and met with Hoskins, and he got punched right in the face by Owen, and told him to stay away from his animals, and Hoskins wouldn't listen because we need to stop the Indominus rats, and Owen changed his mind and helped to stop the Indominus rats from killing any more people on Isla Nublar, and they used the raptors to track it down, and he also told Sergeant Craig what their names are, and he told them that Blue is the beta, and Owen was the alpha, and they both of them stayed with Claire in a truck, and Owen Barry and the engine, and guys went to kill the Dominus rats, and Owen figured out after finding it that the Indominus rats was talking to the raptors, and figured out it was part raptor, and the Dominus got the velociraptors to turn on the humans, and they started to shoot at it, and one of Owen's raptors got shot at, and by one, each engine and hunter got killed by the raptors, and there was only 3 of them left. 3 of the raptors left, and they started to chase Claire, Zach, and Craig, and they were heading back to Main Street to get to the control room to be safe, and they noticed the lab got evacuated, and they had Dr. Wu went with the engine watches to a secure location, which is going to be a new location in Fallen Kingdom, and they went in to see the lab and asked what they were doing, and Hoskins told her that was above her pay grade, and Zach said that Vedamus is not a real dinosaur, and Hoskins told him it's not, and explained to them about it, until one of the raptors came in and chewed Hoskins' hand right off and killed him, and everybody got out of there, and with the raptor chasing them, and Craig turned on a hologram of a Dilophosaurus to distract her, and we got out, and they saw Blue and Delta, her and Eka came out, and surrounding Claire, Owen, Zach, and Craig, and Owen got the trust of the Raptors back, and the Dominus Rex came right onto Main Street, and the Velociraptor started to attack Indominus, and Zachary and Trail went to hide while Owen used his weapon to shoot at the Indominus Rex, and two of the soldiers just got killed by Flame, and the other had bit and took the bite of the water and threw it away, and Zach counted how many more teeth we needed, and told Claire that we need more teeth, and they gave Claire an idea to go to get the T-Rex from Paddock 9, and told Ray about it, and he was surprised, and Owen went to protect Zack and Craig from the enormous, which almost killed them until Claire brought the T-Rex right to Radamas by smashing right through the skeleton of a Spinosaurus, and both dinosaurs started to fight each other, and Zack, Craig, and Owen just got out of there. It was like being trampled by the dinosaurs, and the T-Rex was about to be killed by the Dominus until Blue came to save the dinosaurs, and they got both the T-Rex and Blue got the Dominus over to the lagoon where the Mosasaurus came right through the fence and bit the Indominus right on the neck and dragged it right into the water, and the next day they all had the hospital place to get better, and Zack and Craig's parents came to see if they were okay, and they were, and Claire asked Owen what they're going to do now, and Owen told her we're going to stay together for survival, and by the end of the movie, the T-Rex went to the helicopter pad by the control room and walked right out the main park, and this is where the movie ended. And then that's about it for today's Jurassic World review. Tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing Jurassic World Come to Cretaceous Season 1, where I'm going to be reviewing the entire first season. And then on Sunday I'm going to be reviewing Lego Legends of Chima Season 1, Episode 14. And Monday I'm going to be reviewing Count Cretaceous Season 2. Wednesday I'm going to be reviewing Chaotic Season 1, Episode 27. And Thursday I'm going to be playing through the fourth level of Star the Swap Force. And also on Tuesday of next week, I'm going to be reviewing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And next Friday, I'm going to be reviewing Jurassic World a short film called Battle at Bedrock. So stay tuned for those upcoming videos. I'm also going to be opening one of my Jurassic World building reviews that I haven't uploaded yet, and during next week. So stay tuned for those. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell if you're new. And let's get this channel up to 100 subscribers. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my Count Cretaceous Season 1 review. And peace.